bestbookbits.com presents Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, published in 2011. Based on more than 40 interviews with Jobs conducted over 2 years, as well as interviews with more than 100 family members, friends, advisories, competitors, and colleagues. Walter Isaacson has written a riveting story of a rollercoaster life and intense personality of a creative entrepreneur whose passion for perfection and fierce drive revolutionized 6 industries: personal computers, animated movies, music, phones, tablet computing, and digital publishing. At a time when America is seeking ways to sustain its innovative edge, and when societies around the world are trying to build digital age economies, Jobs stands as the ultimate icon of inventiveness and applied imagination. He knew that the best way to create value in the 21st century was to connect creativity with technology. He built a company where leaps of imagination were combined with remarkable feats of engineering. The written summary can be found on our website, bestbookbits.com. So without further ado, I bring you the book summary of Steve Jobs. Jobs had many positive and negative attributes. He was really weird and difficult to deal with as a person, which both helped and harmed him at many times. There are many paths to entrepreneurship, and every person operates differently in finding success. Apple and Jobs were not always the sources of creativity. Apple used acquisitions, outside contractors, and ad agencies to design many of the products and ad media that we now consider iconic Apple. Jobs went direct and always called on the top people for help. He didn't go it alone. For looking up to the CEO in HP, in the phone directory, and calling him for a part as a teenager, to calling him up Bono, Bill Gates, and Bill Clinton, Jobs went to the source and the decision maker and never felt shy to state what he wanted. Walks can be a great way to connect with someone else. Sharing your feelings and being honest with others can be motivating. Entrepreneurs can convince everyone around them to work hard and believe in them through reality distortion fields. Don't worry about hyperbole or reputation. Every product Jobs ever released was the greatest thing ever. There are some interesting parallels between Eastern spiritual traditions and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs must be constantly pitching and enthusiastic. A supportive family attracts a person in fundamental ways. Notes: Jobs asked Isaacson to write his bio. Jobs was constantly pitching and enthusiastic. Wanted to be at the intersection of humanities and tech. Childhood: abandoned, chosen, special. Adopted: wants to control everything around him like product. Father mechanic who taught him to build and design. Care about parts, backs, and insides even when not visible. Moved to Silicon Valley, defense contractors, loved computers. Realized was smarter than parents. At school, bored at school. Played pranks. Zen Buddhism. Spirituality, not dogma. Home electronic kits, he joined HP Explorers, did drugs, part of the hippie movement, and hated authority. On Steve Wozniak, met in electronics class, built his own microprocessors, lots of pranks, phone pricking, was engineered, Jobs packaged for sale. He dropped out. Patience was never his virtue. He loved Zen, Dylan, and acid. Zen mind, beginner's mind. Zen emphasis on intuition. Vegetarian and weird diets. Now reality distortion field. Staring and silence, intensity. Loved calligraphy and typography, nice design. Atari, search for enlightenment, time in India. Then Breakout, the Apple I. Alter, counterculture and technology. Wozniak had idea for personal computers with CPU, keyboard, and mouse in one package. Jobs thought of an idea to sell computer. Apple name came from Jobs' fruit diet. Simplicity, counterculture. Simple partnership agreement. Third party left for personal liberty. Fear. Gave up 10% stake for $1,600. Sold first computers to retail shop. Assembled in garage. Brought parts after got customer order. Apple II. Integrated package. Great case. Sequo VC told him to get a marketing job. Apple marketing philosophy, 3 points from VC partner. Empathy, focus, impute. People judge book by cover. Girlfriend got pregnant, but he ignored daughter. Courts forced him to pay child support. Xerox, PARC. GUI, bit mapping, great artist steal. Going public, the Mac is born. Reality distortion field, belief that rules didn't apply. Incorporated vision and be able to lie and deceive because deceives himself. Binary distinction between great and horrible for people he worked with. Perfectionism, bad at making trade-offs. The design, simple and clean modernism. Inspired by Cusan art. Funny that it's not the other way around. Friendly look. Hired and contracted with designers. Obsessed with perfect box and packaging. Building the Mac. Crusade against IBM. Mac in compatibility with other Apple models. Wanted to give masses a controlled experience. It's not done until it ships. Different philosophy from great engineers. Ship or perfect is the enemy of good. The journey is a reward. Customer doesn't know what he wants. Dream of laptop and tablet. Don't compromise. Some could stand up to him. Intra-company rivalry between Mac by Jobs and Lisa Computer where he was kicked out. Scully. Pepsi president. Jobs more showman than businessman. Rise of IBM PC. Launch of Mac. Chat Day, made famous by 1984 Mac ad. 12484 launch. Greatest commercial ever. Mac product intros epic moments. Gates and Jobs. Microsoft started programming apps for Mac. License Microsoft's BASIC. MS wrote Excel for Mac. Microsoft ripped off Windows but actually just ripped off Xerox. PARC. First version crude but irritated. Thought Microsoft had no taste. Scully just wanted to please Steve. Steve controlled him. Exodus. Wozniak quit to work on own remote control. Scully never became product person. Jobs abusive in organization. Made Jobs resign because he couldn't operate business. Feeling of rejection at early age. Next. Left and took key employees. Was sued. People couldn't trust his integrity. Many failures at Next matured his personality. Very stubborn. Paid $100,000 for logo design consultant for one option only before any product existed. Took minor design issues to extremes. Education workstand product. Ross Perot invested. Gates and Jobs fought over Next. Jobs wanted one controlled platform. Gates wanted compatibility. Huge launch party. Jobs was the Andrew Lloyd Webber of product launches. Pixar. Technology meets art. Jobs bought majority stake from George Lucas. Was Lucasfilm animated division. Pixar did deal with Disney. Family man. Met a woman, fell in love. She was much older than him and Jobs eventually wanted kids. Reconnected with biological family and sister. Became more involved with his own daughter. Jobs very merciful, embrace and coldness. Could be very romantic. Met wife at talk he gave at Stanford GSB. Fluctuous focus of attention between extremes of love and work. His favorite place for vacation, Konga Village, Hawaii. Married at Awani Resort in Yosemite. Moved to Palo Alto, unpretentious house. No security guards or live-in servants. Kept back door unlocked. Toy Story. Disney licensed Pixar computers. Pixar went public after Toy Story release. The Second Coming. Apple chose to license Next OS and hardware. Apple lost to Windows. Jobs wanted to return to Apple as CEO and innovate. Wanted to find Unix OS to build upon. Next built a Unix OS. Contest against BE OS. The Restoration. Kicked out as CEO. Came back, kicked out board. Microsoft invested and committed to making Office for Mac. Lots of phone calls between Jobs and Gates. Cried a lot at emotional moments. Think Different campaign. Called famous people out of the blue when needed for help or favors, or when needed CEO somewhere to give exception. Many wanted them to license OS. Got out of all product lines except 4. Many layoffs. Design principles. Johnny Ive, designer at Apple. Hand-drawn, emotional designs. Jobs design case. Engineers had to make boards fit. Designer packaging had patterns for box design. The iMac, all-in-one, clear case, handle to grab, humanized it. CEO. Zero tolerance for poor performance of staff or suppliers. Built just-in-time supply chain and built-to-order sales like Dell. Hired Tim Cook for supply chain management. Cut inventory. Got 100 turtlenecks from Japanese designer of Sony uniform, Izzy McCall. Would park his Mercedes over 2 handicap spots. Claimed others' ideas as own. Didn't take any salary or stock at first. Asked for airplane instead. OS X came from Next. Apple stores and Genius bars. Store size conveys size of brand. Wants to be in the most expensive locations. Visual and touching designs for studio. If something is not right, fix and delay launch instead launching imperfectly. Insist on only stone from Florence sidewalks. Signature staircase. Jobs has patents on staircase design. Apple has the highest traffic and sales volume in retail. The digital hub. Firewire. Control hardware, software, media devices. Adobe didn't put Photoshop on Mac and Jobs was pissed. Didn't put Flash on iPad. iTunes had brought Sound Jam startup. iPod, scroll wheel, pure white color, iconic ads. Outspent all other music players in ads because improved Mac image. iTunes Store, legal alternative to piracy. Individual songs had to sign up music companies. Sony could have done the same as Apple with computer, music and player, but its divisions didn't work together. Moved to PC against Steve's wishes. Never worry about cannibalization of own products with new ones. Microsoft attempt, Zun, failed. Mini, Shuffle. iTunes sold 1 million songs in 6 days. Started to sell magazines, videos and apps. Music Man. A person is defined by their iPod playlist. Bob Dylan, Beatles were his favourites. Bob Dylan digital boxed set sold, huge marketing. Apple gave musicians brand to leverage, reverse of celebrity endorsement. iPod gave access to younger listeners. Beatles Apple's core trademark suit. Later suit when Apple went into music. Bono wanted to do ad for Apple promoting new album. Black Nano with royalty to U2. Red iPod for philanthropy. Loved Yo-Yo Ma. Pixar's friends and foes. DreamWorks came out of with ants competing with Pixar's A Bug's Life. Second product syndrome. Don't understand why first product's successful, so if can survive second one, will be fine. Creativity come from spontaneous meeting and random collaboration. Must meet in person, not by email. Eisner and Jobs clashed. Eisner worked better with Jobs. Introduced iPod video, including Disney ABC shows. Disney wanted to buy Pixar. Took a lot of walks with everyone he met. 21st century Mac. Intel architecture. New desktop iMac design. Huge stock grants and CEO compensation controversy. Kidney stones from overwork on Apple and Pixar. Cancer diagnosis. Refused surgery for a while and did vegan diet and acupuncture. Stanford commencement address. Tim Cook helped when he was out for surgery. Monday morning executive meetings across divisions from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Focus on 2 to 3 things at a time. Mortality keeps all in perspective. Mortality keeps all in perspective. iPhone. Hated all phones. Tried partnerships with Motorola for Rocker. Wanted to build phone they wanted to use. iPad idea had already been in progress and merged with iPhone. Multi-touch feature. acquired fingerworks company with gestures parents. Rounded rectangles. Swipe to open. Light sensor when on phone. Gorilla Glass by Cumming. Famous speech for product launch. Round 2. Lost a lot of weight due to diets. Cancer returned. Didn't give full truth. Stock price dropped due to health. Didn't jump the queue for liver transplant. Dual listed on Tennessee list and got transplant there. Hated design of various medical apparatuses. Tablet project. Apps. Journalism and books. Apple owns the customer and credit card. Mad at Android. Wants end-to-end control. Hates Flash. Apple. Design before engineering. Antenna problem in iPhone 4. Got Beatles finally on iTunes Store. To infinity. iPad 2. Detachable cover. Took wife to original wedding site for 20-year anniversary. iCloud. Mobile Me sucked. New signature office campus. Round 3. Son did cancer research at Stanford. Loved Kyoto. Jobs always dismissive of philanthropic efforts. Involved with helping Obama. Medical leave. Lack of integrated approach among caretakers. He wanted orderly transition of power at Apple. Visits at houses by Gates, Clinton, etc. Legacy. End-to-end integration. Intensity. Hero shithead dichotomy. Food is the best thing ever or inedible. Open versus closed systems. Delight the user versus empower the user. Got people to do things they never thought possible. Didn't invent much outright, but put things together in good design. Apple II, Macintosh, Toy Story, Apple Stores, iPod, iTunes Store, iPhone, App Store, iPad, iCloud, Apple itself. Not exceptionally smart, but genius in another way. Magician genius. Intuition, not processing power. Design sensibility. Perfectionism. Products, not profits, are his motivation. Figure out what customers will want, not market research or give in what they ask for directly. Deep current of humanity in innovation. Great artists were great at science. For Microsoft, winning business was more important than making great products. Tell people to their face if something sucks. And that's a wrap on Steve Jobs. Subscribe to our channel and take a look at the hundreds of book summaries uploaded previously. To find hundreds of written summaries, check out our website, bestbookbits.com, and for hundreds of audio podcast summaries, find us on mixcloud.com/bestbookbits. Like and share if you got something from this summary, and comment on what one thing stood out for you. Thanks for watching, and have yourself an amazing day. Take care.